Hi there. Thanks for tuning in today. If this is your first time, thanks so much. My name is Kelly Houston, and I am a registered dietitian who helps women reduce shame and guilt around food and helps them to eat in a way to maximize energy so they can be fueled to live a life they love. Today I want to talk about pendulums, homeostasis. Our body, when it's left to its own devices, keeps a pretty tight run of things. It makes sure that our temperature, our blood sugar are within specific ranges, for example, among 100 other things. The same goes for eating. The world we live in likes to tell us that we get to decide how much we will eat of any given food on any given day. However, if that is in conflict with how much our body actually needs, we tend to see some pushback, and it's usually not very pretty. For example, say you were at a holiday luncheon, easy to imagine this time of year, and there were so many delicious foods to choose from. You wanted to try it all, and by the end of the party, you were feeling the classic Thanksgiving dinner level of fullness. So you tell yourself, I won't eat dinner. So dinner time comes around, and you keep telling yourself, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. Maybe that works fine. But an hour or two later, you find your tummy is rumbling. What do? If you still don't allow yourself to eat, what happens? You might go to bed dreaming of sugar plums and feel famished and miserable. You might even wake up overnight to eat. What would happen if you did allow yourself to eat, honoring that hunger signal? You might find that you need just a little food to take the edge off before bed, or you may find that you need just a normal sized meal, and that's okay too. Being in tune with our body is a two-way street. Our body sends those signals, and by doing so, it's relying on us to act toward those signals in a way to meet the body's needs. All too often, I talk with clients who have denied their body's needs for so long. Usually this happens through intentional dieting, cutting out a specific food or food groups, or it could be like a calorie restriction of some sort. But sometimes it can also happen just because they're so busy and their lives are so hectic that they don't take the time to tune into their body or listen to the body's messages. So they're pulling this pendulum all the way to a far side of restriction. Eventually, the body reaches a point where it's just not going to take it anymore. And that pendulum will shift all the way to the other end, which usually results in a binge, whether it's what anyone might consider, a binge, or just the client themselves would consider it a binge. That can contribute to a lot of guilt and shame and, why can't I control myself? I have no willpower around food. That's not what we want to feel around food. And usually it's often not even really the case. That resulted from a clear, ignorance or not response to the body's signals. So it didn't have anything to do with willpower. If we ignore our body's hunger and fullness signals too often, it usually ends up that we lose touch with them completely until we're on either end of that extreme of the pendulum. So either extreme Thanksgiving dinner fullness or extreme ravenous hunger. What's a more comfortable range is if our pendulum is just kind of a tight little back forth, instead of like one of those boat rides at a carnival that are going way back and forth. So how do we help our pendulum stabilize back in the center instead of having these huge fluctuations? One way to start is to eat on a consistent schedule. If your gentle hunger and gentle fullness signals are broken, I'd recommend eating something at least every 4 to 5 hours. Definitely no more than 5. Tuning into the body at the start and end of these more frequent eating times should help you start to feel an emergence of what slight hunger and slight fullness feel like before they're too overwhelming. If you are struggling in your relationship with food or eating, please reach out. You don't have to go through this alone. Thanks so much for watching, guys.